Right on, we're back. I want to show you guys the 1987 Porsche Carrera 911 3.2. I've had this car for about 2 years now. Bought it before I started this YouTube channel, but I'm going to catch up you guys with some of the work I've done on it since I've had it. I've done a lot on the suspension. Put Bilstein shocks front and rear. Rebuilt the front suspension as well too with new bushings, elephant bushings. Put 930 tie rods on. And the biggest thing that I've done is I've actually dropped the motor and put on a new clutch, where the clutch that was in it before was the Porsche rubber spline clutch disc, and if you don't know about those, they go bad pretty quickly once you start putting some torque on them, because the rubber's 30 plus years old. So I was doing a pretty good turn getting onto the 10 freeway coming out of downtown LA and blew up. Smelled like basically you're doing a burnout. And the amazing thing is you don't lose the entire clutch. You actually get some of the clutch assembly working still. It's just that the rubber, which basically acts as a spring, gets shredded away. So that's done. Did the triangle of death at the top and replaced all the sensors on that as well too. And I have had the car repainted as well. And I didn't do that myself. I had it done by a guy in Culver City. He did an awesome job on it. As you can see, it's a unique color. The color is Lagoon Green, and it's a special order color that was available, and it looks very cool with the black interior, black Fuchs wheels. And the other thing I had to do with it when I first got it was to put on a new catalytic converter, as the cat that I had was blown, had a big hole in it, wouldn't pass smog. So got that all done. When I first got it, just to get it going, I got it from somebody in Atlanta, so that's where it came from. So they didn't have smog like we do here in California. As you can see, the interior in really good shape considering the age. I did use a leather conditioner and an oil to bring the seats back to make them a lot more pliable. It's kind of a daub that dips on and you basically let it soak, and it brings it back. I fixed a couple of these buttons because they weren't working. I've done numerous other interior updates, put a new shift knob on it, little bits and bobs here and there. As you can see, the back seat is enough for some kids to ride in. It's got a wicked car stereo from the 80s. Some vintage stuff, which I'm a big fan of. As you guys probably start to know more about me. I've got ADS plate speakers in the back. Those are top of the line back in the day. They sound awesome. It's probably about the best amount of bass you're going to get out of a setup like that. Just some JBLs in the front that actually came with the car. I'm still hunting around for some ADS for the front that I'd like to put in. It's got the Alpine cassette pull-out. It's actually, I think, like a 1988 or 89 model. I actually got it from a guy in Poland. He rebuilt it, completely recapped it, everything else. And then I've got a EQ as well too, an Alpine as well. And underneath this seat is a ADS amp. It's massive, super clean power. That was like the top of the line amp back in the day as well too. So I've been collecting some of that vintage gear for a while, and it really sounds nice. And so I'll put some other videos together. So let's show the frunk, as they call it, which is the hood. And right there, the tool roll up, there's a spare collapsible there, the fuse box and everything. Again, all the seals I've replaced. Everything was just, you know, the rubber was just really old. It does have a new Porsche emblem on the front. It's got the H5 Bosch halogens, underlights as well. The spoiler front and rear. A lot of folks don't like the rear spoiler. I really dig it. I think it's very quintessential of the 80s, and it really makes the car. They call this a G50, which is the G50 transmission, and it's a little bit of a better gearbox than the other that ended in 86. See the motor here, in rather good shape, clean. I've done the oil change on this a few times. It's a big can underneath this fender, and then oil line going all the way up to the front, and then right up in here there is a oil cooler. I had to replace 2 of the lines there that were leaking. They always say air cooled Porsche, but it's really oil cooled, because it's got about 12 quarts of oil in it, and running that oil continually through the car with that oil cooler is what really is cooling it. So I guess air cooled, oil cooled. You can see they call this impact bumper Carrera. So the European one doesn't have those. Those are for the US model. I put a new windshield in the car as well. It was all pitted, the previous one, really soft mineral glass. It looks really nice. Yeah, it's an exciting car. Gets a lot of looks. A lot of people ask about it. I was lucky to buy it and find something that needed some work to actually make some efforts out of it that I enjoy doing. So we'll take it for a spin, show you guys what it looks like on the road. Yeah, so let's get into that. Feeling at first when you drive the car, because you're sitting with that rear engine and being pushed, but once you get some of the muscle memory of yourself and how it handles it, it really does well. It's so light, everything's manual steering, manual brakes, manual gearbox. That's what makes it a fun, sporty car. There's nothing else like a Porsche. Okay, there's the Carrera. We just took it for a spin. Got my favorite beverage from the coffee bean. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll continue to keep bringing great cars back to life. That's the future of Rabbit Motorworks. Peace. See you guys.